All right, I'm going to do lesson 2 of chapter 14 about geometry. This lesson is about parallel, perpendicular, and intersecting lines. Before we talk about that, I want to review a little bit of what we did yesterday. Yesterday we talked about a point, about a line, about a line segment, and about rays. Okay? We are going to be using these lines today and showing how they can be parallel, perpendicular, or intersecting. Usually when we are mixing them up this way, we're only going to use lines, but we will have 2 points on them, and then we'll have some letters to name them. Okay? So I'm looking at page 879 in our textbook. The first word that they show us on there is parallel. Now, I'm going to show you something really large here on my board. And what I want you to notice are these 2 L's in the middle of parallel. That's how I remember which direction parallel lines go, because they run just like those 2 L's. Those lines could keep going forever and ever and ever. They'll never touch. Okay, so if I continue them straight up my board, they're never going to cross. Okay, even if I go down this way, they're never going to touch. Okay? In the purple box at the bottom of the page, they gave you a description of parallel. They're lines that are always the same distance apart and they do not meet. So there's always a distance in between them that never changes. A good example of this is railroad tracks. The 2 edges that run along, those never really cross over each other. They may cross over other tracks, but they don't cross each other. They run parallel. The symbol, if they ask you to make parallel lines, look like these 2 L's. And you see that there in that purple box. The symbol looks like 11 or 2 L's. It means parallel. So if they ask you to draw line AB parallel to line CD, they're going to want you to make 2 lines and label them, one as AB and the other one as CD. Okay? So that would be parallel lines. Let me get rid of those. The next kind of line is called, on page 880, intersecting. Intersecting just means they cross somewhere. Okay? They could cross in any way. It could be something like that. It could be real skinny like that. However they cross, it's just wherever they meet, they intersect. They cut through each other. Okay? In the key concept box on page 880, they have lines that meet or cross each other. All right, so they can cross and meet wherever. If 2 lines cross and make a perfect 90-degree corner like a plus sign, these are called perpendicular. Perpendicular lines do intersect, but they're special kinds of intersecting lines because they make this perfect angle right here. And if you look there on their description, they have all of these lines with the arrows, and they have them labeled. A, B, C, D. And the symbol for this, we would say line AB is perpendicular to line CD. Okay? For the intersecting one, there isn't a symbol. They'll just put in the word intersects. All right, so let's look at doing some of those. If you look at page, let's go over to 881. Number 2, describe each figure. Tell if it's parallel. Remember those L's, those two L's that run together, never touch. Perpendicular, it's a perfect, like a plus, perfect corners. Or intersecting. They cross somewhere, but they don't make that perfect right angle. So line segment LM and ray JK are, we would say those are intersecting because they are crossing each other, but they're not making that plus sign that we talked about. Number 3, line VW and line XY are, we would call those parallel because they're both running in the same direction and they're never going to cross. Let's look at number 4. Number 4, they want us to draw an example of each figure. So they say, I'm going to write it on my board, line DE is parallel to line FG. Okay, I'm going to make line DE, D and E. They want it to be parallel. So that means FG is going to run in the same direction and never ever touch it. Okay? Let's have a look at number 5. Number 5 says line RS intersects, whoops, oh, I spelled that all wrong, intersects with line TU. Okay, I'm going to make line RS. I'm going to make line TU intersect, cross through it, but not at a perfect corner. So I'm going to kind of do it at an angle there. And I will call this one TU. Don't forget the arrows, okay? We have to have the arrows on there to show that it is a line, not a line segment or array. Okay? So for today's assignment, I would like you to complete pages 883 and 884 in your book. If you are having any problems, please just send me an email and I'll be happy to chat with you some more about how this works.